Meron din po bang nakasulat dyan noon?
Ang alam ko po meron pero hindi ko na po inintindihan kasi ang habilin po nung yung na-hostage yung basta dapat manon mo na po yan para mag-aalis lang sila kaagad. Yun po ang laging habilin. Yung ba, may mga pirma naman po ako dyan, di ba ako nakalagay yun?
Okay, so may pirma kayo dito.
Opo, may
Ito
pirma
pong
po.
mga contents, pinupuno niyo po ba itong contents, quantity,
Hindi
packaging
po.
system?
Galing mo yan sa tracking hindi ko na po kailangan fill up ang pen kasi
Sila na
opo,
nagsusulat niya?
sila po ang nagsusulat niya.
Pumipirma lang po kayo dito?
Opo, pumipirma lang po ako. Wala na dumating, pinipirmahan ko lang po yan.
Okay. So, kung pwede lang po mahintay nyo ng konti, malapit na daw po yung mga taga-PDEA para lang po ma-check natin yung dokumento.
Ayun na po, sir.
Thank you po.
Salamat din po, sir.
I think Chairman Barbers would like to ask questions.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, salamat po. Para ho kay Fidel, Mr. Fidel Anochedi. I think the records will bear me out. Because if I recall completely what transpired in the first hearing, Mr. Chairman, parang nasabi ho kasi ni Commissioner Faildon, maybe Attorney Anderson can refresh me. Nasabi kasi ni Commissioner Faildon at saka ni Director Estrella that Fidel Anoche D is only the alias of a Taiwanese named Julong. One of those three Taiwanese daw leasing the warehouse ng sister ni Mr. D. Si Jumingju and two others ay Taiwanese daw po, Mr. Chairman. And I'm surprised that when after hearing Mr. D, Pilipinong-Pilipino ho. Matanong ko lang ho, Mr. Dino,
Opo.
saan ho kayo pinanganak?
Sa Marikina po.
Sa Marikina.
Opo.
So, maling-mali pala yung kasi nung hearing ho namin nung unang pagkakataon, natanong ho namin sa mga tiga-customs at tiga-customs ho, sinabi na kayo daw ho ay Taiwanese.
Hindi po, sir.
Kaya nga nagulat ako ngayon, nakita ko na kayo pala yung Fidel Anoche D, mas malalim pa ho kayo managalog sa amin lahat dito.
Opo.
Ngayon ho, may tanong lang ako, nakita niyo na ba ho si Richard Tan?
Hindi pa po, sir. Sa pangalan ko na lang po narinig yan nung pinuntan ako ng ang attorney tayo ng PDEA. Pinasyalan po ako sa Valenzuela City na tinatanong. Babagaw ko lang po. Ang sagot ko po sa kanila, Congressman Barbers, ngayon ko lang po narinig yung pangalan niya. Kaya hindi na po naman kailangan ipakilala pa ng mga Taiwanese, yung mga Taiwanese o kaya ni Junmang kasi hindi naman po sumasama sa delivery kung sakali man yung may-ari di po ba? Kasi may bayad naman na sila, ganun.
Okay. Yung bang crate, nakita nyo dun sa warehouse nyo?
Yun yung huli talagang kalalapag lang ho po noon, Congressman. Pagkalapag lang, ilang minuto lang ho may kumatok ng mga arresting officer ng customer at PDEA Kaya, at saka hindi po kami talaga nagbubukas doon. Minsan lang po ang pinuksan lang po namin yung pinaka-cover ng item. Pero yung hindi po namin ginagalaw yung kagaya ng parang roller siya. Hindi po
Yung
namin.
bang mga crates na dinadala sa inyo galing sa customs papunta dun sa warehouse nyo, talaga bang normal na may nakalagay na pangalan nyo?
Hindi, 2 beses lang pong ipinangalan. Nung
Saan
hindi
po
pa
nakalagay yung pangalan nyo, Mano?
sa tagiliran, sa ibabaw, at saka sa kabilang tagiliran, at saka sa ibabaw.
So, bali ho yung crate ay may pangalan nyo sa tigiliran, sa ibabaw.
May sa harapan ng taba, sa harapan at saka likuran. 4 na ganun. 4 na lugar ang meron.
Kaparehas din ho ba yun nung diniliver nung kamakailan na nahulihan ho ng shabu?
Opo, yun pong sinasabi kong kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, mga Enero, yung 3 piraso, at saka yung May 26, parehas po ng klase nun.
Mr. Chairman, kaya ko po naitanong yun kasi parang nalito ho ako dun ho kasi sa Committee on Dangerous Drugs sa unang pagkakataon ng ating hearing ay yung pagkakaintindi ko, and I think we can check the record sa transcript, na yun nga po, ang sinasabi una ay Taiwanese, itong si Mr. City. Yung pala ay tubong Marikina at mas malalim pang managalog sa atin. Pangalawa ho, hindi pala ho niya kilala yung Mr. Richard Tan, hindi niyo
Hindi
nakikita.
po.
Kahit kailan, hindi pa ho
Hindi
kayo
po,
nagkausap.
bago ko lang po narinig yan sa attorney ng PDEA nung pinuntahan po ako sa Valenzuela. Tinatanong nga po ako kung kilala ko.
Yun ho ba nagre-renta ng inyong warehouse ay mga Pilipino o mga Chinese?
Taiwanese po yung kapirmahan ng
Marunong
kapatid
po
ko.
ba mag-English?
Nahihirapan po kahit na ako sa English, kaya
Paano ho siya nakikipag-usap sa inyo?
parang ini-interpret po ni Junmang yung nagpapalakad ng negosyo.
So every time pumupunta ho sila sa inyo, may kasama siyang interpreter.
Hindi po kung bihira lang naman silang pumunta ngayon kung may gusto ipasabi yun, dinadaan na lang ako sa tawag. Ang tumatawag na lang si Junmang.
Sino ang kausap ni Jun Mang?
Yun ang Taiwanese. Pinag-uusapan nila kung ano yung dapat na iutos sa akin, kung anong gagawin ko, ganun no.
Hindi ho ba kayo nagtaka na yung mga malalaking ano ang pagkakasabi pala ho sa inyo? No? Hindi ba kayo nagtanong kung ano ba yung nasa crate na yun? Hindi kayo nagtanong? Nung dineliver sa inyo yun?
Tinanong ko po, sabi niya, wala namang masama niya. Kasi kinestyon ko, kasi hindi naman po nila ipinaalam ng paggamit.
Sino ang kinestyon niyo, Manong?
Si Junmang po.
Si Jun Long, kinestyon niyo. Jun Wang.
Opo.
Nung dineliver yun, kinestyon niyo siya.
Opo. Bakit mo na ginagamit mo pangalan ko? Hindi naman ko
Hindi, bago pa ho nahuli.
Opo, bago pa ako nahuli. Yung pangalawa pong delivery na magkahalin tulad nung kahulihan, ganun po ang lagi. Yun ang tinanong ko. Wala naman daw kung masama doon, wala namang nakakargang illegal doon. Ayun.
Siya ho nagsabi niyan na wala daw nakakargang illegal.
Opo, siya po ang nagsabi noon.
Hindi niyo ba sinita, hindi niyo ba tinanong ng pagkakatanong niyo, kunyari, baka may illegal dyan. Wala ho kayong ganung sinabi.
Baka nabanggit ko rin po yun, pero ang sabi niya wala naman daw po. Kaya wala na akong wala. Opo.
No further questions, Mr. Chairman. Salamat po, Manong.
Salamat din po.
Chairman. Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Congressman Mari? Ay, sorry, Congressman Gason pa pala.
Mr. Chair, kung may pagtatanong
Okay,
ako,
on Manong Fidel, kung meron pa po kay Mr. Anoche D. Okay. Hintayin lang po natin yung NBI o PDEA na siyang may hawak ng original kasi hindi po natin mabasa eh. So, pagkatapos po noon, Manong Fidel, pwede po kayo bumalik na. Pero sa ngayon, we recognize Congressman Biaso.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I direct my questions to Ms. Anderson. You are the Chief of Staff.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. And are there any limitations to what you are expected to do as Chief of Staff?
Limitations?
Considering that you are you don't have an employee-employer relationship with the Bureau of Customs.
Yes, Your Honor. There
What are those
many.
limitations?
My functions are limited to reviewing of papers. It's basically my function right now.
Do you review CPOs?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the basis of your review? And do you give recommendation to the commissioner based on your review of the CPOs?
Your Honor, CPO is drafted, and then basically because the DOF now requires that every CPO has an annex attached, and that there be a reason for the transfer. So for every CPO, I basically draft the annex.
So is your function limited to just sufficiency in form of the CPO?
Yes, Your Honor, but not all, Your Honor.
You do not qualify each CPO, make a decision or a recommendation on the approval or...
I make a recommendation, Your Honor, but mostly on the basis of humanitarian reasons.
So not just the form.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you actually exercise some degree of discretion over a particular personnel who will be issued a CPO.
Yes, Your Honor. Some discretion.
Kasi sabi mo, for
He has-
humanitarian reasons,
yes.
sinasabi mo, ito, sige, pasok natin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pwede yan. And how many of those recommendations have been approved?
I can't give you a ballpark figure, Your Honor. I don't know.
Percentage.
Probably 80%. 70 to 80%.
80% of your recommendation
Have been approved,
have been
yes.
approved. So personnel movement, we can say that 80% of the personnel movement in the Bureau was due to the exercise of discretion of Attorney Anderson.
No, Your Honor. Because some personnel movement are recommended by the heads of the different groups. The personnel movement I'm involved in is those employees who directly send me their pleas, their requests to movement. Like an example would be one of our employees who was moved to Manila, to Tacloban. He was moved back there after the earth, what is it? Undui?
So
Yolanda.
with that
Yolanda.
answer, are you qualifying now that not all the CPOs?
Yes, Your Honor, not all the CPOs.
Kasi the impression that I got from my earlier questions to you was that all the CPOs were reviewed by
Yes,
you.
they are reviewed by me, Your Honor, but I do not recommend all of them, Your Honor.
Yeah, you said 80% you recommend.
80%
Or
of
at least
of what I
80% of what you recommend
Have been approved.
approved.
yes, Your Honor.
And you don't have an idea of how many those are.
Yes, Your Honor.
How about the percentage of all the CPOs? How many of them were recommended by you?
It's a mixture, Your Honor, because like I said, we receive recommendations from the different groups like the X-ray, the shuffling of their personnel, the IG, CIIS, we have the ports. So I can't give you a percentage
Yeah,
of...
but as Chief of Staff of the Commissioner of Customs, I guess everything is funneled through you,
Yes, Your Honor.
right?
Mhm.
Because I was there. I had a Chief of Staff there.
Yes, Your Honor. The commissioner or I give a lot of weight on the recommendations of the heads of the groups and the collectors. Um, I would say my recommendations are very minimal. Not even 40% of the CPOs that are being signed by both the commissioner and the Secretary of Finance.
Okay, but you do confirm, and what you already admitted earlier, that you exercise some degree of discretion over CPOs.
Yes, Your Honor.
When I left the Bureau, there was a DOF-initiated move to place certain officials of the BOC under a unit called the CPRO.
So I'm aware of that, Your Honor.
Yeah. Can you describe the CPRO?
Based on what I heard, the CPRO was a unit in the Department of Finance, and I think more than 50 employees, high-ranking employees, were placed inside a room, if I'm not mistaken, and they were made to time in and time out, just every day for over a year or two.
When you came in, was the unit still in place?
When I came in, there was what we call the CMU, Compliance Monitoring Unit, in the BOC. I haven't met all of them, but
How different is it from the CPRO?
they're not as monitored as when they were in the DOF.
How about the function?
They had no function when we came in, Your Honor.
Okay, so when the new administration came in, you had the CMU, which are populated by, as you described earlier, high-ranking officials.
High-ranking, yes.
Yeah. Did you see a need, or did you see a way to use
Yes, Your Honor.
these personnel?
Yes, Your Honor. Our DEPCOM, the Deputy Commissioner Dibugo, formed a committee called the. What is it called? They monitor the collection monitoring unit. The core group. Sorry, Your Honor. The core group. They monitor the collections and basically they encourage our collectors to reach the targets, each of their targets. Aside from that, uh, the CMTA, when the CMTA group was formed, Attorney Althea Akas recruited a lot of the members of the CMU to join her and to help her in crafting the CMTA. Also, Your Honor, in the beginning, I recommended to the Commissioner that we give the others a chance to hold positions since, of course, we know they're experts in this field. One of them, Your Honor, is Attorney Lourdes Mangawang. I recommended to the Commissioner that we put her as an X-ray chief since that's her expertise. And the Commissioner the Commissioner agreed, and we actually submitted a CPO of her together with several members of the CMU to the Department of Finance.
Have you utilized them to come up with ways to reform the system?
I believe so, Your Honor. Now they're in different offices. Some of them are under the Revenue Collection and Monitoring Group. Some of them even had their own ports now. Collector Francia, I don't know if you know him. He's now the collector of Mariveles. Um, Basically, it's it.
Will you agree with me that this problem has been caused by loopholes in the process and system?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are
Definitely.
those loopholes?
I don't know the exact loophole since I'm not really an expert on the whole system, but I think we give too much discretion. We give too much discretion to our people at the ports, most especially.
Who gives legal advice to the commission?
A lot of people do, Your Honor. I'm one of them with regards to documents. Attorney Althea Akas, he confers with her all the time. Attorney Alvin Ebrio. There were also two lawyers who were with us last year, Attorney Carlo Marqueda and Attorney Cesar Ramirez. They were always with him during different times.
And those persons you mentioned, what are their customs, background, or experience?
None, Your Honor, none. But he confers with us regarding administrative matters, not really customs procedures.
So who gives him legal advice as far as customs procedures are concerned?
Sir, may I just clarify because my name was mentioned? I give advice to the commissioner after I ask subject matter experts, and I never give advice that is not well researched. I do not review or draft any customs administrative order. I always tell the commissioner that a technical question must be answered by a technical person.
Have you had previous customs experience?
No, sir, but because of my stint in the Bureau of Customs, I'm already a customs policy expert at the Department of Finance.
Your Honor,
Alam mo na rin yung kalakaran?
Sir, I'm a policy person. I'm not an operational person.
Okay, so as far as legal advice is concerned, customs legal advice, the commissioner is getting advice from those who have not yet sufficient operational experience in customs.
Sir, I do not provide. Sir, I'm just speaking for myself because I just wanted
Althea, can I answer that question?
Let me just, because I don't, because my name was mentioned, sir, I just want to make sure that it is clear to everybody that I only give advice after I talk to subject matter experts. And when a question is posed to me that I do not know the answer to, I say, let's ask a technical person for a technical question.
Okay, you're cleared. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of advice the commissioner gets when he makes the day-to-day decisions in customs. Because
Yeah.
we know the load of the volume and load and importance of decisions that the commissioner makes day to day.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. With regards to customs matters, he confers with Deputy Commissioner Edward Ibuco. And also, he also actually confirms with a lot of the plantilla personnel there. I've seen him meet with Attorney Mendoza, Attorney Melodias, and He confirms with them.
But you're not privy to what their discussions are.
Usually not, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, please advise me if I'm running out of time.
Yeah, there's no time limit here.
Okay, thank you. Um, okay, going back to the loopholes, which you confirmed that there are loopholes, but when I ask you what are those loopholes, you say you're not too familiar with it. I believe it's essential for us to find out what the loopholes are if we are really to embark on reform. Because after all of these hearings, pwedeng may matanggal, pwedeng may mawala sa bureau. Kung nandun pa rin yung loopholes, nandun pa rin yung problema. And in fact, these kinds of problems are things that we have encountered or things that have been happening, no, for over generations. When I went in, it was the very problem that was told to me to solve. Right now, I'm in Congress, it's still the very problem that we are trying to solve. So unless we are able to pinpoint those reforms or those loopholes, how can we reform? And being the chief of staff, I think at least you should be privy to what's in the mind of the commissioner as far as the reforms that are going to be done is concerned. Because you occupy a very important position. You're also the spokesperson, right?
No, Your Honor, not officially, no.
What does that mean, not official?
He's been trying to force me to be the spokesperson, but I really haven't accepted the position.
But you've been described as the spokesperson.
I
And
know
the
you
recent
are.
press conference with regard to the athletes, I watched it. You played a prominent role in speaking for
I
the
know, Your
bill.
Honor, yes.
So you were forced into it.
Not forced, more of pushed.
Okay, let me go to this memorandum order dated 31 May 2017 with regard to the cancellation and revocation of customs accreditation privileges. What brought this about?
Is that regarding the temporary lifting, Your Honor?
No, not the temporary lifting. That was the one dated June 30.
Is it okay if I get a copy of it, Your Honor, so I can answer your question?
It's about the immediate cancellation and revocation of customs accreditation privileges. You
Yes,
should
Your
be
Honor. Which
familiar with
date?
this.
Which date?
May 31,
May
2017.
31, yes. Yes, Your Honor.
You know, if I ask my chief of staff that question, give me this memorandum and hingiin sa akin, sir, pahingin mo ng kopya.
Yes, Your Honor, because
Kakaldagin ko yun.
we actually issued two
Kakaldagin ko yun.
already. We issued two. So I was confused. Sorry, Your Honor.
You have two
Yes,
memos.
there's two memos regarding that.
Yeah, but they're
That was
two
being
different
corrected.
memos. Because
Yeah.
one memo is the order to cancel and the other memo is to do a temporary lift. So they are two different memos.
No, with regard to the revocation, there are two now because that was corrected in June, second week of June.
Okay. Okay, so what brought about this order?
That was one of the commissioner's policies that he wanted to rid the Bureau of consignees for hire of our problem of consignees for hire, and he wanted to discipline them, discipline the brokers, and so it's basically an iron
It was a
fist.
blanket revocation.
Yes, Your Honor, for those who had violations of the Tariff and Customs Code.
Was this a
and CMDA.
penalty or what is
It's
this?
a preventive suspension,
It's a
basically.
preventive suspension.
Yes, Your Honor.
But it says here that once you are suspended, you can no longer transact again.
Yes, Your Honor, that's when a decision is being rendered. When the decision is rendered by the legal service, Your Honor.
Prior to the issuance of this, were all of this dito yung 800 plus, di ba?
Not
That
all
was
800,
reported.
Your Honor, because the 800, part of it had a notice, a charge, and they had a specific number of days to answer the charge. I think 5 days. I'm not sure. Probably 5 days to answer the charge, and then the legal service would render a decision. However, on May 31, that was issued uh, by the commissioner in order because it was taking too long. We weren't suspending and revoking
Okay,
as
let
many
me cut this short
accreditations.
kasi meron tayong importanteng bisitang dumating.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
This is the circuitous route that I was taking to go to my point.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
With regard to loopholes, nag-blanket suspension cancellation kayo. But you provide an opportunity for them to come back, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Temporary lift for 10 days.
Yeah. And after the temporary leave, meron ba kayong ibang opportunity?
yeah.
Any other opportunity to come back?
Yes, Your Honor. After the 10 days temporary lift, the legal service will then issue the decision on whether it's a permanent revocation or merely a suspension. So after that, there's a chance that they would be
So there would be
lifted.
somehow an exercise of discretion by customs officers whether makakabalik ka or not.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes. We've been trying to formulate a way with regards to the penalties to make it uniform for depending on the violations, so that they would not be able to use so much discretion.
Okay. What what breeds the problem is the exercise of discretion. Do you agree with me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Actually, to the point that during my time, one of the ideas that I was forwarding was to remove the accreditation. Because accreditation is an exercise of discretion. Kaya nagkakaroon nung consignee for hire, kasi ang daling magbayad para makakuha ng accreditation. Nagkaroon pa kami ng mga panahon noon na may nahuli kami, kakasuhan na namin sa DOJ, turns out fictitious yung.
Yes.
Buti nga to, nung nag-appeal pa si Miss Tatad eh. May mga na-encounter kami noon, talagang fictional character.
Meron nga daw patay, Your Honor.
Iba-iba, sari-sari. That's because of the exercise of discretion.
Yes, Your Honor.
And as with any agency na merong regulation power, vulnerable siya. More so with the Bureau of Customs because you have two opposing forces. One force, one side, are the traders, the businessmen, who have this urgent need to get their cargo through as soon as possible. And you have another force with an exercise of regulatory and discretionary power. Put those two together, and what do you have? An environment where the crooked will take advantage of it. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor, I do
So,
agree.
yung loophole na sinasabi natin is remove the exercise of discretion as much as possible. Reduce it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ito kasi nakita ko lang na isang possible na opportunity. Tanggalin mo lahat ng accreditation, di babalik sila lahat ulit sa'yo. Going rate, 5,000 to 50,000. Do you see my point?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Yung mga bagay na yan, matututunan ba natin sa law school?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Saan natututunan yun?
Experience.
Yes. Unfortunately, kanina based on our question and answer, you yourself revealed that a lot of the advice being given is through people who somehow lack the necessary experience. Mapapaikutan tayo dun. Worse, mabubuulan. Diba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So we all want to reform the Bureau. Many have tried, many have entered the Bureau and wanting to reform it because that is an accomplishment. No? Yung maka-accomplish nun, santuhin na natin dahil sa kalakaran. But unless we are able to identify those loopholes, we will not be able to do it. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, I end my interpellation here. I'm sure that you would want to ask questions to the other resource persons. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to refer the question to our newcomer, Colonel Estrella. Colonel Estrella, what's your background? before BOC?
Ma'am, I served almost 24 years in the Philippine
No,
Police.
related to customs.
None, ma'am.
Anan, and then your appointment is as what?
As the Director of the Customs Intelligence and Investigation Service, ma'am.
And customs intelligence and ano yan, sir?
Investigation Service po.
Under enforcement group, is that it?
IG, ma'am.
IG kayo, so intelligence group kayo. And what's the function of your office?
The function of my office, ma'am, is to supervise and supervise all intelligence districts of the Bureau of Customs, collect information for the utilization of the commissioner for its decision making.
Intelligence group, hanapin ko lang, hindi ko kasi kabisado yan. Intelligence group would be, this group gathers intelligence information related to customs and economic activities, conducts internal inquiry and investigation, and exercise police authority. Tama?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, sir, considering that you don't have any experience in customs, parang on-the-job training yan, ano? Now, your deputy commissioner would be
Attorney Teddy Rabal, ma'am.
Raval.
Your Honor.
And then pero in this case, nung nag-create kayo, hindi kayo dumaan kay Raval, dumiretso ka lang kay Faldon.
At the time, ma'am, yes, ma'am, because of the urgency of the
Being a soldier, di ba parang may chain of command kayo dyan, sir? Why wouldn't you follow that? Why bypass deputy commissioner na in the end, kung pumalpak kayo, siya yung responsible. Wouldn't that be, you don't have a good working relationship with your deputy commissioner? Or the deputy commissioner doesn't have a good working relationship with the commissioner?
Ma'am, I cannot comment on that, but in as far as my DEPCOM IG is concerned and myself, ma'am, we're in talking terms, though we have the...
No, but that's very disrespectful to the hierarchy, sir. I don't understand really your reasoning. A phone call is 5 seconds, even if there's urgency. Kasi, you know naman, you're the subordinate, di ba? I don't understand. I mean, even if you're not customs in family, well, hindi kayo used sa practice dyan sa customs. But then, even in the military or in previous profession, nanonood nga ako ng sine, ano ba yung si Jack Nicholson dati, tsaka si Tom Cruise. Few Good Men, di ba? Doon ko lang naintindihan yung chain of command na yan, yung... Why would you violate that? That's something so intrinsic in your 24 years na training. Why would you violate that? There should be something that's very telling of the dynamics in customs, sir.
Ma'am, honestly, ma'am, on that specific incident, there's no intent to bypass DEPCOM Rabal, and he knows that.
You did, sir. The fact is you did. Now,
Ma'am,
why
I
did
really-
you not inform, ano bang tawag dyan? Drug enforcement, yung parang grupo niyo rin against drugs. How do you call that?
Anti-illegal drug unit, ma'am.
Now, hindi naman kayo nag-investigate eh. Tinawagan lang tong chief of staff mo, sir, merong drugs dyan. It was not even an investigation of customs. It was just a tip. And you knew it was drugs. Di ba? Ba't hindi mo sinabihan yung unit na yun? Which is under enforcement group. Do I understand it correctly? Under Nepomucena's group?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
So why not, sir?
Ma'am, at that point in time, as I have explained, the information that I have is a raw information that I need to develop into an intelligence information. It is
And so you
a,
think with a letter of authority, you can get more information? On that raw, I don't understand the logic, sir.
if,
Do you know what a letter of authority is?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
Ma'am, it's a authority issued by the Commissioner of the Bureau of Customs for us to exercise our
visitorial powers in certain warehouses.
Now, what's the purpose of a letter of authority? What is it based on?
To demand import documents as well as payment of duties and taxes, ma'am.
Oh, so sabihin natin bigay ka ng LOA, tapos pinakita yung binayaran. So you don't have any excuse to open the, ano, bakit? I don't understand the logic, sir.
Ma'am,
If you read the CMTA, if you properly are trained as a customs officer, you would know na hindi yan yung tamang daan. You are new to customs and then you assert your decision making there with bypassing your deputy commissioner, bypassing the deputy commissioner of Deputy Commissioner Nepomuceno. Mali yung lahat. Alam mo naman dapat warrant yung in-issue dyan eh. Hindi mo pwedeng letter of authority yan. Ang kinonsult nyo pa, yung girlfriend ni commissioner na si, ang pangalan na si Janina Magsusi, who's not even, who's not trained in customs, who is a recent bar passer, who is not anymore in customs na, naging consultant lang yan, tapos yun pa yung tinanong nyo. I don't understand. There's a breakdown of our command there in customs. I don't understand, sir. That's a very, very big mistake. And I can only justify that because you are not trained to be a customs officer. And you were given a very vital position. Kaya hindi ko naiintindihan ang logic ni Commissioner. And why would he appoint in all these positions na napaka-importante? And why give so much importance to Colonel Estrella? Laking blooper yan, sir. So, Chair, ang ano lang din, it's the same thing that I've been emphasizing in this hearing. That Colonel Estrella, although you have 24 years of service, sir, but you do not know the customs law and the customs procedure. I would not even emphasize the importance of PIDEA on this. Inunahan niyo, sir, eh. And in customs, you have to learn muna. Learn the basics, kung anong kailangan, yung difference ng letter of authority from warrant of seizure. Diba? Dapat alam niyo yan. But then with your judgment, because you did not have the proper training, which is not your fault, mali yung ginawa ninyo. Dapat yan warrant eh. Drugs, alam niyo na yan beforehand na drugs. Eh, hihingi pa kayo ng resibo. And anong gagawin niyo sa resibo? Babalik na naman kayo, hihingi kayo. No? Under CMTA, and even in the previous law, once it's drugs, it's a prohibited goods. Warrant na yan. Kung binasa niyo lang, sir, then we wouldn't have be in this big trouble. Yun lang, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Speaker Garin. Before we continue, disregarding the statement of Manong Fidel. So we were hoping that the PIDEA, who is the custodian of the documents retrieved from the warehouse or the house in Ugong, would have a clear copy of this commercial delivery receipt. But it seems that in their record, they also possess a photocopy. Wala pa yung original pink slip or the clear white slip. So hindi natin makita yung driver and car number. Because hopefully the driver and car number will give us better leads into the case, find out sino nag-deliver, we'll find out sino ang consignee. I mean, let's trace it back all the way. We'll find out if it is also EMT, also an operation under the player Mark Taguba, etc. Pero at this point, wala pa po. So, I think we should direct the COMSEC to require the original copy from both Hong Fei. I believe Hong Fei should have their white copy and a pink copy which may be in the possession of the sister of Fidel Anoche D, is Emily D, who we requested the COMSEC to also invite. Okay, so given that light, kung wala na po tayong tanong kay Mr. Fidel Anoche D, salamat po, and request po ng inyong security team ay i-secure na kayo bago magdilim, kaya po kami nagpapasalamat na kayo ay nag-cooperate at sinagot nyo ng ang mga tanong ng aming committee. Meron pa po kayong gustong idagdag? Mensahe po sa committee, mensahe sa aming speaker.
Wala na po sir, maraming salamat din po sa paanyaya nandito sa akin.
Sige po.
Pwede na po kami makaalis sir.
Yes, sir.
So, maraming salamat din po sa inyo na naririto. Tuloy na po kami.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so let's proceed. Deputy Speaker.
Colonel Estrella, I've seen footages of the consultations on the CMTA. Why were you there, sir? The IRR.
There were some occasions where I attended.
Hindi nyo nga alam yung difference ng letter of authority tsaka warrant of seizure eh. Ba't kayo naging resource speaker doon?
No, ma'am.
You were standing and speaking. I have videos of you.
Ma'am, I can't remember that I was a resource person on that in any occasion.
Kasi kayo yung nagsasalita, sir. Eh.
I might just be there as an observer, ma'am, or I really can't remember, Your Honor, having attended or speak for the IRR.
Sir, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sir, one more na lang. Nahanap ko lang yun. Sir, meron ba kayong kilala na, ano pangalan nun? Kimberly?
I heard of that name, ma'am, and one time somebody pointed her to be that person who went to our office, ma'am, Your Honor.
Sila Joel Pinawin?
Mr. Joel Pinawin is the OIC of the Intelligence Division, Your Honor.
OIC of
Intelligence Division, Your Honor. IT, under CIIS, Your Honor.
OIC siya ngayon. Dati ano siya?
No, he was just relieved last month, ma'am, and replaced by IO for Eric Albano.
Si ano, sir? Si Julie Gamboa, kilala niya?
No, Your Honor.
Hindi ba to parang kasama ni Kimberly to o siya si Kimberly? Ruben, si Tina Yu or Jerry Yu, kilala niyo po, sir?
No, Your Honor.
David Tan.
I heard the name, Your Honor.
Manny Santos.
I also heard the name, Your Honor, but
Heard na ano? Anong ibig sabihin ng heard, sir? Anong heard? Narinig mo sa...
I heard the name, Your Honor.
Heard saan?
I heard the name from my employees, Your Honor. The name Manny Santos, Your Honor.
Bakit nila pinag-uusapan si Manny Santos, sir?
Your Honor, when I arrived at the office of the CIIS, one thing I asked them are who are the personalities within the Bureau of Custom, and I heard this name being mentioned, Your Honor.
Jeffrey King,
Not familiar, Your Honor.
Jerry Teves o Joel Teves.
I heard, Your Honor.
Ibig sabihin ng heard, kilala niyo ba? Or narinig mo lang yung pangalan?
Narinig yung, Your Honor.
So, hindi mo kilala at all si Jerry Teves at Joel Teves?
Not personally, Your Honor.
You've never talked to them?
No, Your Honor.
Edwin Santos?
No, Your Honor.
Eden Maranan,
No, Your Honor.
Noel Bukaling,
Noel Bukaling, Your Honor, I know him, Your Honor.
sino itong may Big Mama ba?
Yung bukaling kilala mo, Colonel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Not just heard his name, you know him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Si Boy Sabatera,
No, Your Honor.
Nero Andal,
No, Your Honor.
Napsanota,
No, Your Honor.
Alvin Prieto,
No, Your Honor.
Vic Reyes,
I heard about Big Reyes, Your Honor.
Jerry Yap,
I heard, Your Honor.
Lea de la Cruz,
Lea de la Cruz or Lea Cruz, ma'am. I heard, ma'am.
si Johnny C.
I heard, ma'am.
Attorney Anderson, have you heard of these names? Because I heard that your boss daw palagi nag-meet sa kanila to. So if that is true, then you will be familiar with these names.
I have no idea, Your Honor. I've heard of Kimberly and Julie Gamboa. I think she's one and the same person. That's
Alias yun and Kimberly. So
sorry.
you have not heard of any of these names?
No, just the Kimberly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for the mysterious line of questions, Deputy Speaker.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
Sino yun?
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Chairman Barbers, please, go ahead.
Tuloy ko lang yung questioning ni Deputy Speaker Green kay Director Estrella, yung mga names, no? Yung Gary Liit, kilala mo?
No, Your Honor.
Si Illuminado Prieto, kilala mo?
No, Your Honor.
Jane Yu,
I heard, Your Honor.
si J.R. Tolentino,
I heard, Your Honor.
si Makoda,
No, Your Honor.
si Ray Tubig,
No, Your Honor.
si Ruel C.,
No, Your Honor.
si Teodi Bakiran,
No, Your Honor.
Tina Yu.
I heard, Your Honor.
So, itong mga to, for your information, I don't know, you probably know this already, Director Estrella, kasi, di ba, intelligence ka eh, di ba, sa intelligence ka eh. Mas matindi yung intelligence network ni Congresswoman Garin sa'yo dahil mas marami siyang kakilala hindi mo kakilala eh. So, all this, ito pa isa, yung aying akusar,
No, Your Honor.
Bobot Season,
No, Your Honor.
Boy Sabater,
No, Your Honor.
hindi kilala. That's all, Mr. Chairman. I'll just pursue my questioning later. Thank you.
Okay, we have Congressman Giron. I think you were on the list. We can proceed. Okay, so let's proceed. Yes, you would like to add something, Attorney Anderson?
Your Honor, if I may, I'd just like to inform the committee that the commissioner is still in the hospital. So,
So you verified.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, how's his condition?
No, there were no changes.
Okay, so any idea when he can be released and he can go home to his
I asked if he could be released tomorrow, and negative, Your Honor.
negative? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, please. May we know from Ms. Anderson the nature of his health right now? Is he suffering from what kind of disease or sickness?
Your Honor, he's having heart problems, Your Honor.
Does he have a history of any heartaches? I'm sorry, heart problem, I'm sorry.
I'm not aware of any, Your Honor.
And that you know
None that I know of.
so far.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, because I think in the last committee meeting, Ms. Anderson, there is he manifested through a representative that he is suffering from an emergency tooth extraction or something to that effect. So this is a totally different kind of disease.
Yes, Your Honor, he was at the hospital at the time, and then, as far as I know, his fiance suggested that he have a checkup since he's been having heart, I don't know, chest problems.
As far as you know, Ms. Anderson, is this the first time that he is suffering from continuous health problems since
No.
the time that you were employed with
No,
him?
Your Honor, he was having breathing problems a few months ago because of, I think, the pollution. He said it was because of the pollution.
So aside from that,
Aside from that, none.
so you were together for how many years already?
Since July of last year, Your Honor.
So that would be about
A year.
more than a year.
Yes,
More
more
than
than
a year. More than a year. And this is the first time, aside from the
Aside-
respiratory problem that
Yes, this is the
you're-
first time.
Okay. We submit, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Costello, for clarifying the Commissioner's health status. I'd like to, with the indulgence of my colleagues, before I, is it related, Congressman Tamanding, or can I ask a few questions?
Go ahead, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
I'll go after you.
yes, I'd like to ask a few questions to Attorney Arnel Alcaraz. Are you with the POC? Are you currently working for the Bureau of Customs?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Okay, what is your official position po?
My official item is Collector 5, Mr. Chairman, and I'm presently detailed at the Compliance Monitoring Unit under the Office of the Commissioner.
And you've always been in that unit?
Sometime last year, I was designated by Commissioner Felton as one of the OIC Deputy Commissioners.
Okay, so dati po nasa DepCom kayo for which
Deputy Commissioner for Enforcement Group, Mr. Chairman.
Deputy Commissioner for EG?
OIC.
OIC lang, OIC. Okay, so how long did you serve in that in the EG?
It was 2 months.
From when to when?
More than 2 months. From August 22 until my relief on November 5th, 2016.
August to November
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
2016. And any reason why you were transferred, nabigyan ba kayo ng reason kung ba't kayo minove?
Well, I just came to the office in one morning and I heard that on the radio that I'm being relieved because somebody who's or a broker whose shipment I tried to put on hold or alert filed a complaint for extortion against me in the NBI, Mr. Chairman.
Tumanggap ba talaga kayo ng pera?
Hindi po, Mr. Chairman. In fact, dala ko po yung copy ng desisyon ng Department of Justice na dinismiss po yung kaso na final against me.
So, kailan po na-dismiss yun?
July 27, 2017, Mr. Chairman.
So,
Recently.
very, very recently. Ano?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Mula nung nagka-desisyon, pinilig ba kayo bilang DepCom? O meron na bang DepCom ng EG ngayon?
Meron pong EG ngayon kasi the story, Mr. Chairman, before was I'm supposed to be appointed as one of the DepComs. In fact, last March, I received something na supposedly in my oath taking, kasama po yung pangalan ko as one of the DepComs. And before I was relieved, I got information that I will be, the appointment has been transmitted to the Office of the Commissioner, and that I was being transferred from DepCom, OIC DepCom EG to DepCom Assessment and Operations Coordinating. But as fate would have it, Mr. Chairman, it did not push through because I was relieved November 3, and my appointment never materialized. Although I still received the notice for that oath taking, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so between November and July, you were reporting for duty.
At the CMU, Mr. Chairman, the Customs Monitoring Unit.
Where is that located?
It's like an annex of the Office of the Commissioner building, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so it's the same building, or it's the
Almost
building beside.
Uh, Not the same, Mr. Chairman, just a stone's throw away.
Okay, so malapit lang. Okay. Um, were you ever assigned, designated, or did you ever participate in the management of the RMO?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No. How about the IS information systems ng BOC?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No. Okay. So you were always in the enforcement and the AOCG.
Only the SOIC of the enforcement group, Mr. Chairman. Under po nun, the officers under me are one of is the Enforcement Security Service, the Customs Police.
So when the whole thing happened, this happened I think in May 26, no? Yung shipment po pumasok. You were in the CMO?
CMU, Mr.
CMU. Ano ulit yung CMU?
Compliance Monitoring Unit, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So, the whole thing that happened na yung isang kargamento na ang title sa E2M is General Merchandise. Ang origin is China. Ang broker has a negative record. And yung consignee is a new company, less than a year. Would you say that's a regular occurrence na makapasok sa green lane?
If, Mr. Chairman, based on my 25 years of experience in BOC, and I have worked with some of the members of this committee before, if the system works, it's entirely impossible for that shipment to be cleared under green lane.
So, kung baga, sa tingin mo, kung walang na manipulate, I'm trying to confirm if that's what you're saying, no? Kung mali, sabihan mo lang ako. Hindi, imposible pumasok siya ng green lane. Kasi ang parang nakukuha namin report ay dahil lang hindi na-input yung tin or a few parameters, kaya daw po naging green lane. Anong, anong, anong sa tingin mo? Yung ba yung sinabi mo na imposible kung hindi ginalang?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I said it's impossible because kahit na hindi na-input yun, may default system yung system. So, default nga eh. So, even though automatic the system would address that, the system itself would address that.
The system itself would, ano bang default? Kasi nung nag-hearing kami nung isang beses, tinanong ko nga yun, ang sabi po nila sa akin, it seems na dahil hindi na-input, naging green, then the default is green. Would you say that's really how the system is designed in your 25 years in the Bureau? Ganun ba talaga na green?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I don't know what you were told and the other honorable members of this committee, but my experience, it simply cannot happen under the system.
So what may be a possible cause for a shipment with 4 or more red flags, glaringly impossible to be green? Ano posibleng nangyari doon? Ano sa tingin nyo? Meron ba kayong hula? O tansya? O baka meron kayong personal knowledge that may be done by individuals in the Bureau that can manipulate the system?
Well, Mr. Chairman, since I've been sidelined, so I've not interacted with most of the personnel deployed in the key positions, but I would venture a guess. There's only one explanation, it's human intervention.
Okay. So are you saying that it is possible for people working in the BOC, for a person, whether working there or not, to manipulate the system in order for a particular shipment to be under the green lane instead of red? Kaya ba yun? Posible ba yun? Is the system talagang prone to manipulation and intervention?
Well, Mr. Chairman, the proof is this particular incident that happened.
So wala kang makitang system systemic error or ibig sabihin yung error ay nasa computer system na maglalagay nun sa green
In my experience, Mr. Chairman,
in your experience. No? Alam mo, ang duda ko rin may gumalaw. If you recall, if we all recall, nung inimbitahan natin si Mr. Taguba, ang sabi niya may nakapag-tip sa kanya. May nakapag-tip sa kanya na kapag bagong kumpanya, mas madaling maging green. Do you know Mr. Taguba?
no, Mr. Chairman.
How about his father?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
How would you describe his father? Is he somebody who's influential in the BOC?
Mr. Chairman, when I was starting in BOC during the time of Commissioner Paraino, I was his special assistant for airport operations. And the father of Mark Taguba, if he indeed is related to Mr.
His father
Ruben
is
Taguba,
Ruben.
is a customs policeman, Mr. Chairman, assigned at the airport.
Okay. So, I believe he's retired from customs.
I think, Mr. Chairman, he resigned because he never reached the mandatory
When did he
age.
resign? Maalala ba?
I
5,
don't
10, 20 years ago? Last year?
A long time ago, Mr.
A
Chairman,
long time,
more than 10
means
years.
more than 10 years ago. Okay. So more than 10 years ago, nag-resign na siya. So he was no longer officially with BOC. But did he have dealings with the BOC?
Well, I distinctly remember that when Commissioner Feldon came in and we met with some brokers, I was part of the team then.
You met with some
at the-
brokers? Okay.
At the conference room of the Office of the Commissioner, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Taguba was there, the father.
He's a broker.
He was there in the conference
But
room.
is he a licensed broker?
I have no personal knowledge,
So
Mr.
hindi mo sure kung broker. Because I remember in one of our hearings, the Deputy Speaker Garin in fact informed the committee that the brokers were complaining that they were not being met or given the ear of the commissioner. Hindi daw sila hinaharap, hindi sila kinakausap. So and now you're telling me, kinausap niya yung brokers.
Initially, Mr. Chairman, I think it was like first or
But if
second week
Taguba
of
was
July.
there,
Mr. Taguba was there.
I believe Mark Taguba is not a broker.
Uh, insofar as that meeting is concerned, Mr. Chairman, Mark Taguba was not there, but his father was there because I know him.
Is it possible he met with players instead of brokers?
I have no personal knowledge, Mr. Chairman. So
Okay. Do you have records of that meeting kung sino nandun?
well, insofar as
Okay, we will ask the COMSEC to send a letter to the BOC to retrieve that. I'm sure meron naman yung mga attendance, you know? May minutes of the meeting
I
yan.
remember signing.
Do you remember the time? Date?
I think it was like 3 p.m. around probably first or second week of July, if I could
Okay.
because at that time, Defcon De Llosa was still there.
Deliosa was sitting. Okay, so kunin na lang natin last week of June to third week of July, o both June and July na lang kunin natin, na nag-meeting si Commissioner doon sa mga, well, according to Alcaraz brokers.
Stakeholders,
Okay.
actually.
And what was the result of, what is the nature of the meeting? Consultative?
Well,
I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our majority leader. Yes, sir, you were saying?
well, Mr. Chairman, that was the first meeting that with the commissioner with the stakeholders that I was present. So at that time, the commissioner was presenting to these stakeholders his plans and programs for the bureau.
Okay, so it was consultation. Kumbaga, ito yung plano ko, ito direksyon natin, didisiplinahin ko na lahat ngayon, ganyan, bawal ganito, bawal ganun pa yung
Yes,
meeting.
Mr.
So,
Chair.
siya ang nagbe-briefing, o Kompo ang nagbe-briefing.
Yes, it was actually a call for support by the commissioner to the,
Okay.
for the stakeholder to
Okay.
bear with him when he institute the reforms he intended to pursue in his administration, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Um, let's go back to the green lane. No? Would you know of an IT expert in the BOC? Or first, siguro tanong ko muna, anong office sa buong bureau ang maaaring makapagkaroon ng access sa pag-manipulate ng E2M? Hindi, ng RMO. RMO po yun, ano? Yung nagde-determine kung green, red, yellow, o super green.
I think it's the RMO, pero marami pong may mga password, SMISTG, they have a password, Mr. Chairman.
May password din ng
Password
FSTG.
yan para maka-access. And as I understand, the system was designed to prevent the manipulation or detect any attempt to manipulate through there's what you call this, it's a keystroke audit system. So whoever the audit trail will lead to from my experience, that's how I understand. Because this green lane clearance system was first implemented during the time of the Commissioner Parino,
Okay.
and I was the project officer.
Okay, so familiar ka dyan sa sa RMO. Anong system? Anong pangalan ng system? Anong tawag mo doon sa system?
This is the green line clearance system. RMO is part of the selectivity process.
Ma'am, you want to add to, please identify yourself. You were trying to explain something.
I'm Sheila Lagat from MISTG.
Okay, have you taken your oath
Not yet, sir.
in the previous hearings here?
Yes, sir. Last.
Ways and, not yet on Ways and Means. Please administer the oath. Oath na ba sa Ways and Means?
Last week.
Okay, so you were saying what is the name of the system?
Risk management system po. Risk management system.
RMO nga. Risk Management, RMS. Okay. That's the system that you, for
Or selectivity system po.
selectivity system. So in the selectivity system, may keystroke audit na sinasabi. Are you familiar with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you manage and operate the
Yes,
system?
sir.
Ma'am, you're testifying under the same oath.
Opo.
Okay, para lang alam mo.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
About the selectivity system.
Kayo ba nag-ooperate niyan?
So yes, actually, we had a workflow
Yes.
submitted. So, meron po kasing ginagawa sa Asikuda for the setting up the parameters and meron din po sa E2M.
Okay. Ang sabi po ni Attorney Alcaraz, imposible na mag-default ng green yung EMT.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
So, ang
kasi,
sinasabi niya, malamang may nag-manipulate. And are you the operator of the RMS?
sir, I do the parameters with RMO.
What do you mean by parameters? Please educate us.
Sir, yung selectivity system po kasi, ang setup niya is magsiset ka ng mga colors, red, yellow, blue, and green. So red is physical, yellow is document checking, blue is SGL.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And green is yun yung release, ay no inspection.
Okay.
So ang siniset lang po sa selectivity is yung selected. When we say selected, ito po yung red, yellow, and green, and blue, not green. Hindi po tayo nagsiset ng green kasi it's a risk management system. So, ang ipinapasok lang po dyan is yung may risk. As mentioned last week, it's like a immigration system wherein hindi ka naman ipa-flag kung wala kang record. So, it is based on the kung may possible risk, kung may history of suspensions, and others. So, it's more on, ipa-flag po dun sa system, yung mga dapat i-flag. So, yung the rest na hindi mo flag, mag-green po siya. Malaki yung possibility na mag-green sa system. Ganun po yung setting up niya. So, hindi po siya, mali yung conception na isi-set mo yung green. Hindi po ganun. Kasi kung nasi-set po yung green sa selectivity, sana yung super green lane namin, wala sa blue lane. Nasa green lane siya dapat. Yun po yung...
So sana yung blue lane na super green, tama ba yun?
Opo,
Blue lane
dapat
is the
hindi
same
siya.
as super green.
Kasi di ba super green lane? So dapat nasa green lane siya. Diba?
Pero magkaiba nga
Ganun
yung...
kasi yung...
Magkaiba
Opo.
yung blue sa green, di ba?
Iba po yun, oo. Yun lang po yung in-explain ko na hindi posible na maglagay ka ng green sa system. Kasi yung mga may risk lang po yung ilalagay mo dun eh. Yun lang yung magkakaroon nung, yun yung sinasabi natin selected, which is red, yellow, and blue.
Mm. So di ba, I'll try to make it easier to understand, no? Kumbaga parang filter yan, ano? So parang salandra yan. So doon sa salandra, kumbaga yung analogy na immigration, di ba? Yung may diretso lang dahil may frequent traveler or citizen, meron yung may red flag, meron yung no entry. Ganun lang naman yan eh, di ba? So, ang ibig sabihin nun, kung ikaw ay meron kang parameters na kunyari may kapangalan kang terorista, aasahan mo na. Titigilin ka kahit hindi ka terorista. Di ba? Tama yan, no? So, in this case, itong shipment na to, ang dami niyang rason na itigil, di ba? In fact, naging basis pa nga ng recommendation for alert ni Attorney Hilario. So bakit nangyari yung imposible? Dahil sabi ni Attorney Alcaraz, imposible daw. Imposibleng hindi masasalo ng system sa dami ng rason na dapat hindi siya gawing green lane. Bakit hindi nasalo? Bakit hindi na-checkpoint?
Ang number one reason na nakikita po namin, yung hindi po siya napasok sa new importers. Kasi
Hindi na ipasok yung...
wala po siyang criteria for the new importers. Hindi po siya naipasok.
Eh, bakit walang criteria yun, ma'am? Hindi ba dapat pag ganun, cannot enter? Kung baga, pumunta ka sa immigration ng airport, eh, wala akong passport eh. O sige, pasok ka na, wala kang passport. Di ba yun? Parang walang passport yun dahil walang criteria of new importer.
Hindi po naipasok yung TIN number ni EMT sa sistema. Kaya po siya hindi na
Ay sus, eh kung ganun lang pala, yung gusto nyo palusutin, hindi nyo lang ipapasok yung TIN number, lusot na yun.
Sir, RM po yung nagpapasok na hindi po kami.
Mr.
It's
Chair,
the job of
Mr. Chair,
Then there is human intervention.
on that part, yes, sir. Kasi wala kang pinid sa computer, wala siyang gagawin.
Eh di ba dapat nga pagka halimbawa nga wala kang passport, paano ka papasok sa bansa? Wala ka man lang passport. Di ba rin na yung walang visa? Walang passport. Wala eh. Eh paano yung can you comment, Attorney Alcaraz? Give us the story. what's happening here. That's why I've said earlier, Mr. Chairman, it's impossible without human intervention. That's the only explanation.
Mr. Chair, may I interject?
Yes, I hope it's
Yeah,
not let's keep to
related.
this topic.
Yeah, related.
Okay.
Attorney De Vera, former head ka ng RMO, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So in short, dun sa selectivity system, may mga parameters na dapat i-key-in para halimbawa, qualified for green, red, or yellow. Like for instance, a newly accredited importer, nasa parameter nyo ba yan?
Yes, sir. May parameter ka, sir.
During your time, kasi pinalitan ka ng September,
Yes, sir.
kung ikaw pa ang hepe, dumaan yung importation ng newly accredited importer, red flag ba yun? Irurot mo ba yun sa red?
Magre-red yun, sir.
Ha?
Yeah, yes, kasi i-update po yun.
So, anong nangyari? Bakit hindi ito, tinanggal ito sa parameter?
Hindi, sir, ando dun yung parameter. Kaya sir, kailangan mo yung, as far as yung new importer is concerned, kailangan mo po siyang weekly ina-update. Kasi po, sir, every now and then, meron pong ina-update na mga bagong importer. Hindi naman po namin alam yun. Kaya,
I'll cut you short. Sa pandinig ko kay Attorney Hilario, nung naging head siya, he had been asking AMO for list of new accredited importers but to no avail. Kung halimbawa lang yung request ni Attorney Hilario for new accredited importers, pinagbigyan ng AMO, there's no reason na hindi yon iki-key-in. Pag na-key-in yon yung parating ng EMT, magre-red yun. Tama ba?
tama po kayo, Your Honor. Pero sir, sabi po ni Attorney Grace, nung nag-request daw po si Attorney Hilario noong December, nabigay naman daw po niya yung newly accredited importer nung month ng December.
Sorry, Attorney De Vera, I think the statement affidavit said he was asking for it repeatedly, and it was only in December when it was, or November when it was given to him worth several months. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ewan ko lang. Let's look at the...
Anyway, ito na lang importante. In case there is a manipulation or intervention, is it not that in the selectivity system, there is a built-in way of finding out who manipulated the system, so-called audit trail, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So in this case, was there a case of manipulation? It would appear there was, because the result is nakalusot. But was there an audit trail conducted by the management for the immediate detection of manipulation? Sino makakasagot? Yes, Attorney Mangawang.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry. No, I have not been a head of the RMO, but I have a lot of trainings on risk management. Ganito ho yan, the default is green. Pag wala kang kiniin na parameters, di syempre green lahat. So, ang magkikiin ng parameters is the risk management office head. Dati MISTG ho ang nagkikiin. So, mag-iisip like si Geoff De Vera.
Keep your cool, Attorney
Sorry, sir,
Mangawang.
sorry. So, like si Geoff De Vera, when he was RMO head, siya ang mag-iisip kung ano ang magiging parameters kasi kailangan ho yan, marunong ka sa intelligence po.
Teka, baka masamahan mo si Commissioner doon sa
No.
art unit.
Anyway, sige,
Relax
relax,
ka
sir. Okay. Ganito po, hindi pwedeng na impossible na ano. Kasi pag walang kiniin na parameters, ang mag-iisip po ng parameters, yung head ng RMO. Dati, ang head ng RMO, sinusulat niya yan sa isang paper, sinisil sa envelope, binibigay sa MISTG, yung MISTG ang nagkikiin. But there have been problems, nagtuturuan sila kasi bakit yung mga goods na prohibited, nakakalusot. So, there was I think, a decision during the time of Commissioner, sir, kasi iyo yata yun, I'm not sure kung kay Commissioner Biazon or Commissioner Alvarez, we agreed, kasi kasama ko sa mga meetings nito, MISTG, I was head of the X-ray inspection project, and the MMISTG people. So, ang napag-desisyonan, it would be the head of the risk management office who would key in the parameters. So, the risk management head will think of what parameters, ano kaya mga ini-smuggle ngayon. So gayon, okay, ang magaling, ang mga high risk, ano, kasi isipin mo, the higher the risk, yun ang ikikiin mo. So one high risk is yung importer. Pag ang importer o bago, ay high risk yan. So, one parameter is high-risk importers. So, hahanapin mo namin yung mga new importers. So, yung lahat ng tin ng new importers, ikikiin mo. Pag hindi ho naikiin yan ng RMO head, syempre hindi siya mahihit ng red. Pero meron naman yang pwedeng mag-manipulate. Pag kiniin ng RMO head, pinakialam naman ng taga MISTG at inalis niya yung mga tin ng mga bagong importers, then, kahit na kiniin ng RMO head, nawala yung kanyang tin. Tin ho yan, hindi ho nilalagay yung pangalan ng, ng importer. Okay, another parameter, sole proprietorship. So, sole proprietorship, kahit luma na siyang importer, sabi ng RMO head, lahat ng sole proprietorship, high risk. So, kahit luma na siyang importer, titingnan niya sa list ng importers kung ano doon yung mga sole proprietorship. So lahat ng TIN numbers ng mga sole proprietors, ikikiin niya. Another parameter is like chemicals. Sabi nung chemicals, baka mga shabu yan. So lahat na magdedeklara ng chemicals, kailangan mahit ng red. So ano ba yung tariff heading ng chemicals? So ikikiin niya yung lahat ng tariff heading ng chemical. So, mahihit lahat ng chemicals. Another parameter would be country of origin. So, ikikiin niya kasi may mga boxes ho dyan sa single administrative document. May mga boxes yan. So, pag yun, fill in ka dyan, yung RMO naman, hihanapin naman niya dyan kung pag dito sa box na to, pag nag-encode na ganitong, like, I will give an example. May box dyan, preferential treatment. Okay? Sasabihin ng RMO, gusto ko lahat ng AFTA, or ito, for example, itong EMT, ASEAN-China Free Trade Area. No? So may preferential treatment siya. So ikikiin niya ng lahat ng tariff heading na covered ng AFTA, ng ASEAN. So, kailangan magaling ka, nag-aral ka. So, ano ba yung covered ng ASEAN preferential treatment na headings? No? Like, no? So, lahat ng tariff code na yan, ikikiin mo doon para pag may pag nag-encode na ito yung tariff heading ko i-declare. No? Mahihit siya agad. Kasi kiniin doon, ito yung kailangan ho ikiin yan. Pag hindi ho kiniin ng RMO head, hindi siya mahihit because the default is green. Pag hindi siya tinamaan pag walang pinasok kasi akala nila ilalagay dyan na, baka akala nyo na pag sinabi, ang parameter nito single proprietorship, itatype mo yung single proprietorship, hindi ho ganun yun. Kailangan hanapin mo sa list ng accredited importers kung ano dyan yung mga single proprietors and kunin mo yung tin niya, yun ang ikikiin. Okay?
Another parameter, declarant,
yes,
broker.
Broker. Yun yan. Another parameter. High risk yung broker. Marami na siyang kaso in the past. So kukunin mo yung tin number ng broker na yun. Ikikiin mo yun sa system. So, if every time the TIN number is encoded into the single administrative unit, mahihit siya, red yun. So, ganito po yun. Pag ang Risk Management Office head walang kiniin na covered ng mga parameters na gusto niya, edi wala, green. Ganun ho kasimple yun. Ganun ang explanation nun. Pero ang MISTG, kasi silang may hawak sa system, pwede nilang alisin yung parameters na ginawa ng RMO. So, meron naman hong audit trail yun. Halimbawa, actually, ang balita ko, pwede pa nga niyang pwede niya ma-override. That's the term. Pwede niyang i-override yung na-key-in na TIN number o yung tariff tariff heading na nakiin ng pwedeng i-override ho ng MISTG. So sa question na ito, inadmit naman ho sa case na ito, inadmit ho ni Attorney Hilario na hindi naman niya naikompleto pagkiin ng mga tins ng mga bagong importers. I was there and he admitted that he failed. That's why nag-green itong, although covered siya ng supposedly usual parameters, hindi naman niya kiniin yung mga covered ng mga parameters na yun. Hindi naging green.
Kaya hindi
Ganun
na
ho yun.
ikiin yun, according to Attorney Lario, kasi ayaw ibigay yung hinihingi niya. Hindi sa ayaw niyang ikiin. Kaya hindi nila ikiin dahil ayaw ibigay, hinihingi na nga niya.
Okay.
That is the testimony of Attorney Lario.
Yes, pero hindi niya nakiin. Yung for whatever reason, he failed
Okay.
to
Okay.
key in. Ganun ho yun.
Okay, so
Mr. Chair,
so
Mr.
teka,
Chair.
let's do this
Mr. Chair.
step by step lang, no? Is
Mr.
it
Chair.
true? Yes, sir. Sandali lang po.
May I just interject one point?
One quick question lang before I recognize you. Yes or no, ma'am? Kunwari kiniin lahat pero hindi nilagay yung TIN number niya. So kailangan
Yung
i-key in.
act of keying in the TIN number, yun na yun.
Yun na nga yun.
Yung TIN number
So,
ho ang
hindi-
ilalagay, hindi yung pangalan ng
So the system does not recognize EMT. He is nowhere in the system. Yun ang tingin yung nangyari or sigurado kayo nangyari doon? Na-check nyo na ba ang system? Okay. Does anybody know? Anybody from
Mr.
BOC?
Chair,
Excuse me.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Sheila.
Yung sa creation po ng new criteria for the new importers,
Hindi, ang tanong ko lang.
actually,
Na-check nyo na ba yung sistema? Napasok ba doon si EMT o hindi?
sir, hindi po siya naipasok.
So sigurado ba?
Actually, yes sir. Actually,
Okay.
nagpagawa po ng criteria si Attorney Hilario last March 3. Ito po yung mga sinabit ng IAS na mga importers na nag-under valuation. For the new importers, hindi po talaga siya nagpasok. Nagpasok lang po siya noong June 2. As per instruction daw po ng OCOM, kailangan ipasok yung mga new importers from the month of November up to May 30, 2017.
Kaya paano kung hindi binibigay sa kanya yung listahan? Oh. Diba? Kasi sabi nyo, hindi niya pinasok, pero kailan naman ba binigay sa kanya yung listahan? At saka sinasabi nyo rin, may override pa rin ang MISTG. Di ba? And the MISTG is under DEPCOM Gambala. Ang RMO is under DEPCOM Gambala. Okay, Congressman Wali, I think wanted to interject.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Isang tanong lang, ibig mo sabihin, Sheila, pag yung PIN lang ang hindi in-enter or in-encode, all other parameters will be disregarded?
Sir, no.
Okay.
Marami po tayong
Okay. Kaya nga, yun yung sinasabi ko. It is not only the PIN that counts, no? If you will go to yung SAD niya, nandito, correct me if I'm wrong, is this, ano bang entry number ito? Anong entry number yung, yung 129547 ba? Is that the entry number for this particular container entry? For this shipment? 129547. Tama? Tama ba? Is this shipment at issue covered by customs reference 1294547? Tama? Naintindihan mo ba? Tama? Will you please answer para mas malinaw?
sure na. 1295%.
Tama Tama? Okay. So dito sa box 36 nakalagay ACFTA. Yun yung sinasabi ni Des Mangawang. So, hindi nakalagay yung T number pero nandito ACFTA. May hit ba ito? Hindi. Ng red.
Sir, wala pong criteria for ACFTA.
Di ba pag
Meron
ACFTA,
pong code criteria AFTA, AFTA, not ACFTA.
sino ang nagtanggal nun? Kasi pag ACFTA, preferential treatment, at the very least, kailangan tingnan mo yung dokumento, di ba? So I cannot imagine why it will not be part of the parameters when the law and the rules require a documents check if it is under preferential treatment.
So it's with RMO kasi kung i-off yun, kung applicable pa yun or not.
So RMO ang nag-off nito, is that what you're saying? So hindi lang yung TIN ang hindi in-input, in-off din yung ACFTA, gano'n ba yun?
Sir, kasi may mga criteria, kasi di ba iba-iba na yung humawak ng risk management office. It's up to them kung yung existing criteria is applicable sa kanila. I mean, discarte nila yun eh.
So kanya-kanyang diskarte na.
Ipapa-off.
Gano'n na, customs ngayon, kanya-kanyang diskarte.
No, sir.
Gumawa kayo ng system para ma-discartehan kayo ng mga tao nyo.
Sir, no, I'm sure may basis po sila to do that. And
Ang batas sinasabi, pag preferential treatment yan, dapat at the very least, it is a documents check. So it can never be green, it must be at the very least yellow.
yes, sir. There's
So
another.
bakit naging green ito?
Meron pa pong ibang criteria for the yellow, like the list of regulated import list. Regulated.
Notwithstanding, di ba, pag na-hit ka ng isang criteria, dapat ay ma-exclude ka sa green, di ba? And this is one parameter already that excludes you from the green, and therefore, under existing rules and regulations, dapat ay at the very least yellow ito. More so if this is coming from China, more so if there is a rider. May rider ba ito? And this is why I'd like, may COMSEN na ba dito? Sino ba ang COMSEN
is
dito?
headed by Depcom Gambala.
Nandiyan ba?
Yeah, Depcom Gambala is here.
Sorry that I was able to arrive, sir.
So anyway, Attorney Akas, wala pa kayong CMO dito, wala pa kayong CAO dito. Nagkakagulo na po ang Pilipinas, and I don't know what you're doing in your shop as to disable you or disable customs from detecting these mga prohibited shipments.
Sir, in all the counts, the risk management is included so that it does not wait for the risk management. However, sir, based on the discussion here, I think one loophole that we can close immediately is to immediately connect the database of the CPRS, the Client Profile Registration System, with the risk management office, and the update should be done at the end of the day, and we will include that, sir.
That is how it was done before during my time. I was deputy commissioner at one point in
That is
time.
already the standing policy unless you changed it. Yun nga eh. Eh nung araw, hindi, maayos naman yung parameters eh. When was it changed? Depcom Gambala, do you know when the parameters were last changed and who participated in changing these parameters?
As far, good afternoon, sir. As far as I'm concerned, sir, we just followed what we have received when we arrived there, sir. So, wala po kaming binagong parameters, sir. Wala kaming binagong policy. It's within the RMO's sir, mandate to change the parameters, sir.
So, hindi nyo pa ginalaw?
Yes, sir.
And if we do a forensic on your computers and your system, you are confident na walang gumalaw ng parameters, Your Honor?
Let me be corrected, sir.
You're asking me kung may ginalaw kami, sir. Sabi ko, sir,
Parameters lang muna.
yes, sir.
Parameters, yung triggers, yung filters,
It's
yung
the RMO,
parameters.
sir. It's the RMO who
That's
has-
under your office, sir.
No, sir. The RMO is not under my office, sir.
Okay, so isn't it that they report to the COMSEN?
The
Command
RMO,
center? Command center yan, di ba? Yung RMO?
the RMO is directly under the supervision of the
Office of the
commissioner, sir.
Commissioner.
And its daily operation is under the IG, sir.
So hindi siya nilagay under COMSEN?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
If I may just continue.
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
Congressman Manny.
Pero, di ba, during the last hearing, lahat ng, sabi mo, may operational control kayo over all units which and they are deployed in COMSEN. Although, inadmit nyo rin na yung mga tao nyo sa COMSEN are not reporting to the deputy commissioners in charge, di ba? Tama ba yun?
Let me clarify that again, sir. If I don't know if how it was being communicated, but we don't have any operational control to all units as what you have mentioned, sir.
Hindi, sabi niyo, yung COMSEN, nandun lahat ng opisina eh.
Wala
In fact, kinuha niyo yung alert powers even by the EG and the IG. Kanya nasa inyo ng lahat. Kanya yung dati-rate, under yung previous regime, dati, kanya malakas ang EG at saka IG kasi meron silang alert power. Kasi alam mo, yung alert power, yan ang source ng power talaga and probably source of corruption.
Yes,
in the Bureau of Customs. And these are all lodged under you as head of COMSEN.
Can I explain, sir?
Sige po.
Yes, sir. This morning I also explained it to the House of Senate, sir, what COMSEN is all about. I don't know, sir. Please hear me on this, sir. Kasi lagi pong nababanggit yung COMSEN, centralize yung power, kinuha lahat ng power. I don't know who gave you that idea or that information, sir. The COMSEN, sir, was a vision of the commissioner wherein, because he came from the military, sir. Kasi sa amin, sir, meron yung mga operation center, sir. I'm sure you know it, sir, yun sa mga cities, meron tayong mga operation center, sir. Actually, when the commissioner told me about it, na he's planning to do that, I immediately went to Valenzuela because I learned that they have a good operation center in Valenzuela. So ganun po, sir, yung idea ng COMSEN, sir. It's a command and center facility. It's a center wherein the head or the commissioner will be able to be updated via IT, sir, like the X-ray, CCTVs. It's a facility, sir. It's a IT facility na kung saan makikita, sir, yung overall operations ng different ports, sir. I've been part of the military, sir. Kami sa military, kami nung Joint Operation Center, sir. Which is, it's part of, sir, yung modernizing yung ating BOC, sir. So, that's the vision of the commissioner, sir. And it's not getting the powers of all the deputy commissioners or all the collectors, sir. Hindi po nangyayari yun sa port ngayon, sir. Pero ang sinasabi yun, sir, yung alerting power, sir. As far as the commissioner is concerned, sir, when we arrive in the port, precisely, sir, what you said a while ago, the alerting power was been bastardized, sir. There's a lot of people using it to extort, to harass people. I-alert kita pag hindi ka nagbigay sa akin. Pag hindi ka naglagay sa akin, tignan mo, i-alert kita. So yun yung nakarating na feedback kay Commissioner. So what he did, sir, is he stopped it, sir, and said, starting today, all alert will emanate from the Office of the Commissioner. Just it's an interim solution, sir. It's a solution for this problem. Now, you say that the command center is the only one alerting. No, sir. We are just the one issuing the documents for the alerting. But no, sir, because we should have basis to have alert. And once we alert, there should be a requesting party, sir. And the requesting party are all the deputy commissioners, the directors, the port collectors, sir. They are the ones who submit. And one guard chief.
Thank you for that, Depcom. Alam mo, pag ganyan ang sistema mo, lalo na naka-green lane yung shipment, wala ka nang aabutin. I'm talking from experience. Kanya, wag mo kaming kwentuhan ng pagkahaba-haba na nakalusot na pala yung shipment like what had happened here. Dahil, sabi mo nga, tinanggalan, sinentralize yung sa inyo. Sabi mo, ito'y interim lang, pero kailan ba nagsimula itong COMSEN ito? How long has this been in operation? At hanggang ngayon ay nandyan, paano naging interim yan? And then, you remove the alert powers of DEPCOM for EG and IG, yun dapat ang eyes and ears nyo eh. Tapos tinanggalan nyo ng power, tapos in-empower nyo ang COMSEN, in-empower nyo si Director Gambala, in-empower nyo itong si Lorna Rosario to provide. Can I call on Lorna Rosario? May mga itatanong lang ako dito. Kasi kanina tinanong nyo daw, hindi ko alam kung anong pinagsasagot nito because I had a bill pending before for second reading kaya I had to leave. Pero anyway, yan ang problema natin. Kanya si RMO Attorney Hilario nagre-request ng alert, hindi pinayagan dahil dumaan kay Director Gambala, IAS, ibinaba kay Rosario at hindi inauthorize dahil within yung value range daw kanya hindi talaga mahihit. Samantalang malinaw dito sa entry na ito, sa SADO nandito, ang dami palang, may rider pala ito. Pag may rider lang, di ba, sa selectivity natin, sa pool na kagad ito dahil may rider. Napunta sa, napunta sa section 15 yata ito. Miscellaneous, kanya naging green, kanya nakalusot, green lane, doon inabot, ewan ko kung moro-moro to or whatever, pero that is how it is. Anyway, I'd like just to ask Nena Rosario, Lorna, no? Lorna?
Yes, sir.
Kilala mo ba si Tita Nani?
No, sir. No,
Wala kang kilalang Tita Nani?
Wala po, sir.
Yung asawa mo, walang kilalang Tita Nani?
Wala rin po, sir.
Can you please submit your 201 file to this committee? May I ask, Mr. Chair, that the 201 file of Ms. Rosario be
Okay, we will request
submitted.
the 201 file of
Yes,
Tiga
sir.
saan kayo, Nena? Anong probinsya ka?
From
Lorna.
Cotabato City, sir. Ay, Cotabato Province po.
Cotabato Province.
Yes, sir.
Yung asawa niyo?
He's from Las Piñas City, sir.
Las Piñas City. Probinsya? Talagang Las Piñas siya?
No, sir. He was born in Cagayan.
Cagayan. Pero tiga Las Piñas na siya. Ikaw naman Cotabato.
Saan
Pero
sa Cagayan, ma'am? North or south?
He was born in Sanchez Mira, Cagayan, sir.
Cagayan North.
Cagayan
Province.
Valley.
Valley, sir.
Sanchez Mira. Anong trabaho na asawa mo?
My husband is a military officer, sir.
At dahil military, Magdalo ba siya?
No, sir.
Hindi siya Magdalo. Kilala ba niya, meron ba siyang kilala sa mga opisyales ng customs ngayon?
Yes, sir.
Sino po?
He just knew them by name, pero
Magsabi ka ng totoo. Alam mo, ang dami kanina pa ako, hindi na ako magkaintindihan sa mga text na nare-receive ko. Kanya, because that is the link, you know, later on, dun tayo mapupunta. So, I just wanna know kung anong association or affiliation ng iyong asawa being a military man to the people who are now heading the Bureau of Customs.
I think it's unfair to my husband na madrag po dito. He's been working as
Tinatanong ko lang yung relationship kung paano siyang, kung may kakilala siya dito. What is unfair of that, Miss Lorna? Anong unfair
I mean,
doon?
sir, he has been working and serving since graduate po siya ng PMA. Tapos,
Anong class siya?
class 88 po.
Class 88.
Yes, sir. He knew Director Maestro Campo, pero hindi pa po sila nag-meet. At kilala niya po sila sa names.
Okay. Sige po.
Si Sir Gambala, kilala niya rin po sa names.
Hindi, matanong ko lang, Director Maestro Campo, anong batch ko kayo? PMA. PMA po kayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anong batch?
95, Your Honor.
Ikaw, DEFCON Gambala?
Same, sir. 90, plus 95, sir.
95, sige. So siya, 88.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. And so he's now working where?
He's with the Philippine Army, sir. Active
Philippine
service.
Army, active service, okay. So, ang sabi mo, hindi sila magkakilala only by name. Is that what you're saying, Miss Lorna?
Ang alam ko, sir, hindi pa po sila physically or personally nag-meet ni Sir Milo, sir. Ni Director Maestro Campo.
So anyway, Lorna, paano ka napunta dyan sa IAS?
Nag-meet po kami ni Director Maestro Campo last December.
Saan?
Sa BOC po. Kasi it was BOC anniversary. So being
December?
December of 2016, sir.
BOC anniversary?
BOC Christmas party, sorry, sir.
Alam ko kasi, anniversary
Hindi, sir.
natin.
Christmas party po pala.
Pebrero eh. So Christmas party.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and under what circumstances did you meet? Paano yun?
Namasyal po ako sa office niya dahil knowing na military po. Siyempre, military din po yung husband ko. So, I went to his office and introduced myself na, sir, ako po pala si Lorna. So, briefly, nagkausap po kami. And, yun po. Yun naman po yung...
Kinuha ka na niya sa IAS?
Around January of, I think that was mid-January when he called me. And sinabi niya nga, sir, na nag-assume na siya as the director ng IAS at naghahanap siya ng makakasama sa ACMD. So nung he texted me kung willing ba akong nag-text po siya sa akin if willing po akong mag-join sa team doon sa area nila, sa service, sir. Tinanong ko pa nga po siya, sir, ano po yung ACMD? And he said it's one of the divisions of the IAS.
Ano ba yung ACMD?
Assessment, Coordination, and Monitoring Divisions, Your Honor.
Under IAS?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that an old, hindi ko na maalala kung ano yung units under IAS. Is that the division existing? Des, siguro mas kabisado mo yan. Yung may ACMD ba dati dito?
Yes, under Executive Order 127. It's under the Import Assessment Service, Your Honor.
Import Assessment Service, which is under AOCG, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, ang boss mo dapat ay AOCG. Sinong AOCG?
I am directly under IAS po, Director of IAS.
Okay. Ang IAS kasi, to my recollection, is under AOCG.
Yes, under
Kay
AOCG.
Dibuco. Do you report to Dibuco?
No, sir. I just report to Director Maestro Campo.
Director Maestro Campo, do you report to Dibuco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, pero dito sa mga alert na to, dumadaan ba yung mga alert nyo sa kay DEFCON Dibuco?
Yes, sir. Weekly furnished. We furnish.
Furnished, so after the fact.
Yes, Your Honor.
Copy furnished lang, hindi dumadaan as a matter of course.
Yes, Your Honor.
Even if you are under DEFCON Dibuco.
Yes, Your Honor.
So ganun na norm ngayon sa customs, yung director ng CIIS hindi dumadaan kay Rabal, yung director ng IAS hindi dumadaan kay Dibuco, for info na lang kayo. Ganun ba? Ganun ba ang norm na ngayon? Because there is a command center headed by Deputy Commissioner Gambala, and lahat ito ay nasa-siphon, na-filter ng COMSEN. Ganun ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may be allowed to respond. Actually, Your Honor, if you're trying to imply that my working relationship with Deputy Commissioner...
I'm not implying anything, I'm just trying to elicit facts.
Yes, sir. My relationship with my Deputy Commissioner is fine. And as a matter of fact, the memo that was shown by Attorney Larry the last time, that's the reason why we furnished copy him, because he already executed memo na pag if it's about valuation, valuation lang doon idaan sa IAS, and we will be the one to recommend it to the command center.
Kaya nga, so
Yes, sir.
mahabang proseso, kayo ang sa inyo dumadaan, at kahit command center, command center, kasi the way I understood it, Hilario was part of the COMSEN, di ba? But still, he had to route itong request niya for alert to you, and notwithstanding that merong ACFTA ito, marunong ba kayo?
That's not accurate, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
What is not accurate?
I have to correct that. Attorney Larry had been quibbling. That's not accurate that he had to route and request for alert to IAS. I can give you a copy of alert orders right now where Attorney Larry signed as the alerting officer in absence of DEPCOM Gambala. I can give you also a sample of an alert order where Attorney Larry signed as the recommending power if DEPCOM Gambala is not around. So,
I agree, pero ang tanong ko lang, yan bang ipapakita mong yan ay question devaluation?
Yes, Your Honor, because...
So, ibig sabihin na yung ipapakita mong yan ay ang issue niyan valuation, and notwithstanding the memo of DEPCOM Dibuco ba ang nag-issue ng memo, na dapat idaan sa iyo ay binaypass ka. Is that what you're saying?
No, sir. Let me explain the memo, sir. Because it has been quibbled as well. Sir, baka
Affidavit po ito,
Yes,
under
sir.
oath po yan. That is not just quibbling.
Yes, sir. It was...
Kailangan malinaw tayo kasi iba yung
Yes, Your Honor.
understanding ko ng quibbling.
Yes, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, it was ferreted out by Congressman Kimbo during late night the last time we have a hearing. Paragraph 1 of the memo, it states that if it is about valuation, kung gusto mo mag-recommend ng alert, idaan mo sa IAS para makomputan. Ngayon, Attorney Larry is quibbling around that na parang sinasabi niya na itong paragraph 1 na to, ito, ibig sabihin ang mag-alert IAS. Hindi, sir. And you know that, Larry. You know that. Wala akong pinirmahan na single alert order that I signed as the alerting officer. I had always been recommendatory. And paragraph 2 of that memo, Your Honor, it states that if other groups just like EG, IG, kung may i-alert sila na yung basis nila is under valuation, they will course it through to us for us to give us if it is within the right value. So it's a matter of because value, they course it through to us. So I'd like to clarify that once and for all, Your Honor, because sometimes we devote so many times for that.
Nasabi mo na. I think you answered it, and that is not how I understood it, yung sinabi ni Hilario, na sinasabi lang niya kailangan dumaan sa iyo and they cannot issue the alert without coursing it to you. So dapat bumalik sa kanila with your recommendation before they can alert. Ganun ang pagkakaintindi ko. Anyway, Hilario is here. Will you
That's-
please clarify your statement, Hilario?
That's right, Your
I,
Honor.
I am asking
Sorry,
Hilario.
Sir, it has been a policy of the command center, and in fact, there were so many times that we were advised that if it pertains to valuation, all alerts must emanate from the important assessment service. Sir Jerry made this clarification to us.
So, whether or not ganun yung understanding nila, the fact of the matter is that kailangan may prior clearance kayo of any alert, whether or not he will issue it or you will issue it. The way that is how I understood yung sinabi ni Hilario. Pero kailan ba in-issue yung CAO or CMO regarding this valuation review by IAS?
January 24, 2017, Your Honor.
And kailan yung sinasabi mo, Director Maestro Campo, na mga pinirmahan niya na alert orders, even if the issue is on valuation?
Yes, Your Honor, I will submit it. But the last statement he said, that was correct. That was correct. That if it's about valuation, they have to course it through to us so that we can concur or not concur. But during the time of, I'll give the document that you asked, Your Honor. But during the time of the container issue at hand, entry number 129547, I have explained this also before. It is covered by HS code 6405900. We could not have alerted it anyway because the reference value for that specific HS code is 0.2 and its value is 0.53. Just two more points, Your Honor, to make. I think you have a copy and I can submit. Yung request po ni Attorney Hilario, I would like to address the good congressman. Ang request po ni Attorney Hilario is very clear sa document, Your Honor, value verification. Ngayon, sir, nagkakaroon po ng kalituhan in terms of time. Kasi po parang sinasabi ni Larry na may exigency, kaya dapat i-alert. Kung hindi i-alert, o nakalusot tuloy yung drugs. That's not the case, ma'am, sirs. Ang request na to is dated a week before bago nabulabog, nahuli yung drugs. That's why,
Yeah, sir, just to clarify, yung issue niya sa'yo ng request for alert or recommendation was a day before the container was released.
yes, sir.
Oh. Okay, so maliwanag yun, no? So,
Yes, sir.
yun ang sinasabi niya na
Yes.
kung inaksyonan niyo daw yung suggestion niya i-alert, ay ma-hold niyo pa daw dun sa loob at hindi niyo mailalabas.
Yes, sir.
So, sige po, paliwanag niyo po.
This is the point. So, wala pang 1 week after pa yata, hindi ako private dun sa intelligence ng sa drugs. 1 week after pa yata, sir, nabulabog tong drugs. But during that time na nag-request siya, before sa release ng container, yung release ng container, wala namang bulabog dun eh. Sir, nag-request siya sa akin ng a total of 53 entries. Sir, tsaka yung request po niya, I'll refer you to the document, sir, respectfully. Walang alarm dyan. It's value verification. Ngayon, sir, andito yung mga valuation people, dyan si Ma'am Des, alam nila na pag kinumputan namin isa-isa to, ganito kadami. I have already expressed it before. This is unusual request. Kaya nagtaka din ako. Nung pumutok na yung drugs, nagtaka ako, bakit nag-request si Larry ng ganito kadami? Kasi sir, ang usual na valuation request, lahat ng groups dito alam nila yan. At any one time, isa, dalawa. So, nonetheless, pinadala namin yung answer sheet sa kanya. Kasi sa dami ng request niya to be timely about it, tingnan mo dyan sa table, kung mababa dyan, it's alertable. So that mabalik namin kaagad sa kanya. So there was, Your Honors, walang yung parang nagmamadali or what. But my third point, Your Honor, if I may make it clear, Attorney Larry had been saying it time and time again. Yung problema po na nakita ni Attorney Larry is not actually matter of the value mababa o mataas. Kasi ang trabaho po namin is to monitor undervaluation. Pag sincerely mababa yan, pa-plug down namin. Sir, in-explain niya, ang entry pare-pareho, ang broker iisa, tatlong consignee ang ginamit, pare-pareho ang ginamit na relationship of anomalies between entries and between brokers. Sir, those are risk factors. That is not undervaluation. Those are risk factors. From that moment on, he could have done something kung may nakita siyang may emergency doon. And during that time, Captain Gambala was out of office. So basically, he was the RMO and he was also the one in charge of the command center. Sir, yun yung pinupoint out ko. Nasa record naman yun. Ang nakita niya, anomalies between declarations. Ang trabaho po namin is titingnan namin yung isa-isang HS code kung mababa ba o mataas, kung undervalued. Ang nakita niya, relationship between entries, broker, and consignees. Those are risk factors, sir.
And ibig mo sabihin doon, dahil meron nun, dapat in-alert na ito without having to pass through or securing the conformity of IAS.
Precisely, Your Honor, because it's not an issue of undervaluation anymore. It's an issue of pattern of anomaly. Those are risk factors.
Yes, sir. Please explain, Attorney Hilario. Sabi niya, pwede mo daw i-alert at hindi daw about undervaluation yung inyong referral. Please, we'll give you a chance to explain also.
Your Honor, the reason why I endorse it to the command center for the issuance of the alert order is that very glaring po doon na pare-parehas yung binabayaran na duties and taxes. Ang 40,000 na uniform ang payment sa VAT on importation. Dahil wala doon si Dipong Gambala at that time, it was forwarded for IAS kasi yun po ang procedure sa amin. Pagdating sa value at yun ang basis para sa alert, we have to refer that sa Imports and Assessment Service. At that time, ginawa yung endorsement ng staff sa COMSEN, iniakyat po sa akin para ako ang pumirma kasi wala doon at that time si Dipong Gambala, kaya po na-forward yan sa IAS. Hindi po yun dahil ako yung RMO na nag-endorse dun sa IAS for value verification, kundi yung command center.
Your Honor, precisely the point. Ang na-detect niya is pattern of anomalies between entries. But notwithstanding the fact, we responded in less than 24 hours.
And your response was?
We sent all the tables.
Tinanong mo kung clear dito kay Defcon Gambala, di ba? Yun ang response mo?
Sir, so that, Your Honor.
Sama ba yun? Kasi yun yung nakita kong dokumento eh.
Meron ditong mismong document, Your Honor, para hindi na tayo mag-speak.
Pero anyway, tama ba yun, Hilario? Parang tinatanong kung may clearance to kay Defcon Gambala and marami pang questions, di ba? Parang ganun ang affidavit.
Yes, Your Honor. Sinabi po niya, I have noticed that Dipong Gambala is signed for. Alam ba niya ito? Thanks again.
Precisely, sir. I have to ask that because he is signing in behalf of a deputy commissioner. And the deputy commissioner is not around. And this is very unusual to request 53 value verification. He's not requesting for alert, sir. He's requesting for value verification. 53, that's very unusual.
Anyway, Director, noong nandun pa ako, yan yung mga, kung gusto mong magpalusot, pasahan kayo ng bola. Kanya para, yun na nga, green lane to, nakawala na. Ayun, maghahabol na kayo. And issue na yan kung paano mo ngayon hahabulin yun. At merong kultura kasi noon sa customs, pag nakalabas na ng port, hindi na hinahabol. At pag nawala na yung document, hindi na rin kinakasuhan. No? So, yan yung mga tradisyon noon na nung nandyan ako. At yan yung kinorek namin to the CMTA. That's why we have a new law. Kanya lang, after 1 year, pipito pa lang ang CAO na nai-issue. And these are for insignificant regulations covering customs operations. So, Maraming salamat sa iyong explanation, pero mabalik lang ako muna uli kay Lorna. Lorna, so tiga Cotabato City ka, no? Cotabato City.
Cotabato Province po.
Province.
Yes, sir.
Saan mismo sa Cotabato Province?
Sa Midsayap po.
Midsayap. And wala kang kilalang tita nani, ha?
Wala, sir.
Wala kang tita nani na kilala? O
Wala.
wala kang tita nani?
Wala, Your Honor.
Kasi, hindi, malalaman din naman natin, alam mo, walang lihim na hindi nabubunyag eh. And I guess that is, hindi ko alam kung alin ho ang pag-iimbestigahin natin. NBI, may NBI ba dito? NBI, kanya lang, may problema rin sa inyo si majority dahil yung ginawa niyong investigasyon dito parang walang pupuntahan. And so CIDG kaya? Pwede kaya ito sa CIDG? Meron ba CIDG dito? Meron bang CIDG dito? Ayun, nandiyan na daw, naipulong sa akin, nandiyan si Taguba. Mark Taguba, ililipat ko muna ha. Ikaw ang nag-expose ng Tita Nani, di ba?
Yes, sir.
At yung Tita Nani ay binibigyan mo magkano?
10,000.
Para kanino itong sa Tita Nani na ito?
Ang sabi po niya, Your Honor,
Pakilakas.
ang sabi po niya kasi, ibibigay niya sa akin yung mga HS code. Pagka ginamit ko raw ito, hindi raw ma-alert. At kumukolekta po raw siya para sa office ni Maestra Campo.
Magkano?
10,000.
So kumukolekta siya. Paano niya sinabi sa iyo?
Nakita po kami.
Nagkita na kayo? So, meron ka bang picture ni Tita Nani?
Wala akong picture, Tita.
Wala kang picture. Pero pag nakita mo siya, makikilala mo siya.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ngayon,
one quick question if I may interject, Congressman Umali.
Yes, please.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but your family, your father is Mr. Ruben Taguba.
Yes, Your Honor.
And is he the same that used to be the Vice Mayor of Piat, Cagayan Province?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Sino ba kanina yung tinanong natin na taga-Cagayan din? Sino yung taga-Cagayan? I think si
Asawa ni Lorna.
Does your husband know Mr. Taguba?
Your Honor, my husband was born in Cagayan, but they transferred to Las Piñas when he was in elementary, 7 or 8 years old. He grew up in Las Piñas.
Please answer the question. Does he know the father of Mark Taguba?
No, Your Honor.
So hindi sila magkakilala at
Walang
all?
kilala ang husband ko na ganyan.
Okay, kasi I'm just finding commonalities. So kung wala, at least you put it on record naman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Congressman Umali.
Paano mo nalamang hindi kilala? Kilala mo ba lahat ng kakilala ng asawa mo?
Wala naman po siyang nami-mention sa akin, Your Honor.
Lahat ba mini-mention niya sa iyo yung kakilala niya?
Hindi naman po. But you can ask him, Your Honor.
We will do that. Anyway, going back, Mr. Taguba, so nakita mo na ito si Tita Nani.
Yes, Your Honor.
And ilang beses mo nakita si Tita Nani?
Every week po.
Every week nakikita kayo. Saan po kayo nakikita?
Nagkikita po kami dun sa Intramuros.
Intramuros. Saan sa Intramuros? Laki ng Intramuros eh.
Malapit po dun sa Max.
Max? Saan ba Max?
May Comelec.
Malapit dun sa Comelec. Oh. So, Kailan kayo huli nagkita ni ni Tita Nani?
May 19.
May 19, matagal-tagal na. No? May 19. More or less, ilang beses kayo nagkita ni Tita Nani?
Hindi ko po sure, Your Honor, pero i-check ko po.
And more or less, magkano ang binigay mo kay Tita Nani tuwing magkikita kayo? Magkano ang binibigay mo? O binigay mo?
Malaki po talaga, Your Honor.
Ano yung malaki?
Malaki po.
Weekly kasi ito di ba? Weekly ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Weekly. Anong araw kayo nagkikita?
Friday po.
Every Friday. Anong oras? More or less?
Mga hapon na po. Hapon gabi.
Hapon gabi. Doon lagi sa Max, hindi kayo sa ibang lugar?
Doon lang po. Madalas.
Doon madalas. Paano kayo nagkikita?
Magte-text po siya, nasa baba na siya. Tapos, bababa na ako, dadaling ko yung sobre.
May telepono ka ba ni Tita Nani?
Meron po.
Pwede bang i-share mo yan dito sa committee para maipacheck natin yan kung sino yung Tita Nani na yan na may nagmamayari ng telepono na yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano ba yung telepono niya? Prepaid ba ito o postpaid? Sa tingin mo?
Your Honor, nag-send ako sa Viber niya.
May Viber?
Opo, nag-send. Tingin ko naman po, postpaid ito.
Pwede bang makuha yung Viber niya? Para sino bang IT dito na nakakaintindi niyan? Kasi hindi rin ako techie. Pwede bang i-check natin? Di ba may profile yan? I-check nyo nga yun kung sino yun. Tapos kunan natin ng litrato yung mga informations na ito.
In the meantime, if with the permission, with the indulgence of
yes, please, and may I go out,
Commissioner
Mr. Chair, kanina pa ako nakaupo dito.
I'd just like to,
I will just go out for a while.
I'd just like to, before we hand this over officially to Mr. Taguba, I'd like to read the contents of this letter that we received from the Office of the Speaker, addressed to Mark Ruben Taguba II. Mr. Taguba, upon the recommendation of the Committee on Ways and Means, pursuant to Section 4 of RA 6981, that your testimony is needed in the motu proprio investigation in aid of legislation on the alleged smuggling of high-grade shabu through the express lane of the BOC and consequently seized by the Bureau's agents together with the NBI. I hereby grant approval for your admission with your express consent to the Witness Protection, Security and Benefit Act. Under Section 12 of the aforementioned Act, you shall be entitled to immunity from any and all criminal prosecution for the offense or offenses in which your testimony will be given or used, and all the rights and benefits provided under Section 8 of the same law, provided that you shall tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the said legislative investigation, signed by the Speaker, Pantaleon D. Alvarez. So, Mark, may I remind you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else. Comsec, pakisip po kay Mr. Taguba.
Mr. Chairman, pwede bang mag-interject? Isang question lang kay Mr. Taguba with the indulgence of Congressman Wally.
Yes, sir. Congressman Barbers, please.
Kasi earlier, nung wala pa si Mr. Taguba, we've been asking several people and a certain Mrs. Naniko who's here, no? Is she still around? Kasi napag-usapan mo kanina na kung kakilala mo si Tita Nani, Mr. Taguba, pag nakita mo siya, hindi mo makikilala mo siya, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, kanina po, marami hong naglalaro sa isipan ng ating mga kasamahan sa Kongreso na kung ito bang si Mrs. Hernani ko, para mabigyan din ho siya ng opportunity to be cleared, no, dun sa spekulasyon na yun. Pwede bang i-ano mo sa amin kung ito ba si Tita Nani na kausap mo palagi? Mrs. Ko, if you don't mind, can you please stand up? Siya ba? Siya ba? So, okay. So, maraming salamat. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr.
Bigyan nyo
Chairman.
ng tubig muna si Mrs. Ko. Bigyan nyo ng tubig.
Mr. Chairman, can I be acknowledged?
Your Honor,
Sir, sir, yes,
hindi mo
yung
na ako
director
kaya.
has. Sige ma'am, magsalita po kayo para ma-clear nyo rin po yung sarili.
Yung 42 years ko na pinaghirapan, nauwi na kung saan. Biyuda na ako, isang anak ko. Pagkatapos sira pa ang pangalan ng pamilya
Cleared
ko.
ka naman, cleared.
Ayun ho, nabigyan na ho kayo ng
Sana ho
opportunity.
hindi na maulit yung ganito kasi hindi lang akong may tama ang pamilya ko dahil hindi lang ordinaryo ang mga kapatid ko, doktor. May kanya-kanya rin silang mga pangalan. Paano ngayon yan? Nasabi na yung kapatid mo pala magnanakaw.
Cleared naman eh. Cleared na.
Wala hong, ma'am, wala pong na-clear po kayo. Di naman daw ho pala kayo si Tita Nani. Meron pa ho ibang Tita Nani. So, at least nabigyan ho kayo ng opportunity. Yun ho sinasabi namin dito sa committee ito, sa Committee on Ways and Means. Very fair ho si Chairman. Lahat ho kayo bibigyan ng opportunity.
Nagpapasalamat nga po ako sa inyong lahat. Dahil nabigyan nyo kami ng pagkakataon na para itanggol din ang aming sarili. Maraming salamat po.
Okay ma'am, so salamat din po sa inyong pagpunta at least hinarap po ninyo at naliwanag po na hindi po kayo yung Tita Naning tinutukoy. Hindi po namin nais na magkaroon kayo ng personal na problema dahil sa hearing na to. Ngunit kailangan po nating gampanan ng tungkulin dahil mayroon po tayong nagsasabing alamang ang korupsyon sa Bureau. Sana nga po, tulungan nyo kami na i-identify yung nagpapasira ng pangalan ng inyong Bureau. Sa ngayon po, sa lahat ng mga opisyal na mahanap sa amin, todo deny pa rin po lahat. Wala pa rin daw po talagang tumatanggap. Wala pa rin daw po talagang kasangkot. Ngunit yung isang testigo po sinasabi, alamang po ang korupsyon. So yan po ang dahilan, ba't natin ito ginagawa? So, pasensya na po kung meron kayong personal na naapakan po yung inyong pamilya dito sa proseso, ngunit kailangan po namin talagang mailabas ito para mag-clear nga po yung hindi sangkot at malaman kung sino po talaga ang sangkot.
Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Ang aking mga kapatid ay tatahimik na rin at malaman din ng maraming kakilala ko na hindi pa na ako masamang tao. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, please continue. Sino ba yung next?
Yes, may I just raise one question?
Okay, and after which it's
Yes.
Congressman Marcoleta's...
Yes, with the indulgence of Congressman Marcoleta. Kanina sinabi niyo, Mark, that kilala niyo po si Tita Nani. Yes. Tama po ba yan? Yes. Do you know her full name? Ang buong pangalan niya?
No.
Okay, so are you aware of her the position that she holds in the Bureau of Customs? Ano bang position niya doon? Para kung hindi niyo alam yung apelyido, perhaps we can identify her if you know exactly kung saan siyang lamesa, anong floor siya doon, saan siyang departamento. Kasi sinabi mo, you're alleging na she's collecting money from for IAS, for Director Mr. Campo. So, does it mean to say that nandun siya sa IAS na opisina?
Your Honor, may I be recognized? Can I just lawyer?
Your question was for Director Mr.
Sir, can I...
Director Emilio, you'll have your time. Let's wait for Mark Taguba to respond.
Your Honor, ang pagkakaintindi ko po kay Tita Nani, malaki po yung ginagalawan din yan. Malaki yung cloud niya kasi minsan magmi-meeting kami, merong tao na nakipag-meeting din sa kanya. Ang tinatanong sa kanya is, pwede mo ba akong tulungan para makapasok sa gobyerno? Yun yung mga naririnig ko po sa kanya. Yung Tita Nani, hindi ko po alam talaga yung apelido niya. Pero Dahil nga ganun yung mga naririnig ko sa pag naririnig ko sila nagmi-meeting ng iba-ibang mga tao.
Mark, it's not so relevant no kung sino mga kausap niya. Ang tanong lang is simple lang eh. Positive ba kayo na empleyado siya ng Bureau of Customs?
Your Honor, hindi po siya empleyado ng Bureau of Customs.
So hindi siya empleyado ng Bureau of Customs?
Yes, sir.
Yung taripa na binibigay mo na 10,000, is that per container or per entry?
Yun po ang inalagay namin dun sa mga dokumento namin.
Let's just be very categorical. Is it per container or per entry?
Per container.
Per container. So sinabi mo kanina, or in the last hearing ni Dangerous Drugs Committee of Congressman Barbers, 100 containers ang pinapalabas nyo per week. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's 100 containers times 10,000. So that's how much? 10 million? Every week ang binibigay mo sa kanya? 1 million? A week? So 1 million ang binibigay nyo sa kanya weekly. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. More or less, hindi naman laging 100.
No, assuming, because it was your declaration that, you release 100 containers probably only for one consignee. So times multiplied by 10,000, so that's 1 million ang binibigay niyo every week.
Yes, sir.